Lots happening. I know the Grand Chief is traveling. He's in Niagara Falls.
Yeah, we'll start with that because we've been reporting several weeks now about border crossing meetings that have been happening. The Assembly of First Nations actually had that on their agenda during their General Assembly in July, and this is a follow-up meeting that's happening in Niagara Falls. And I think what's important about this one is that all of the players are expected to attend, and I think they had confirmation from just about everyone. By that I mean the American Border Services, the Canadian Border Services, the government officials on both sides, the chiefs of the communities that live close to the border, Kahnawake, others, and also, interestingly enough, the Confederacy is there because they've been working on their identification. They've had issues for a long time as well. So they're making a presentation, and this is going on over 2 days. So it's important that we're there, and the Grand Chief will, I'm sure, be happy to give us an update when he gets back.
Do you think that this is going to lead to us not being considered by the Canada Border Services Agency as aliens, and I forget what the other term was, aliens and foreigners?
Well, I think there's a long way to go.
It was refugee and aliens.
Yeah, that's actually what Chief Norton was saying in the interview we did with him about 3 weeks ago. There's a long way to go. I think the real focus on this meeting is about the identification and hopefully creating some type of secure identification that can work. And like I said, the Confederacy has done some work on this. And if everyone can work together, hopefully there will be some movement. Like I said, the first time they have everybody, all the players in one place at one time. So more to come on this.
Identification is step one, I think. Step two would be having sensitivity training for the border guards themselves on what rights and entitlements that we have, right?
I'm glad you brought that up because we didn't actually get a chance to do a follow-up on the meeting that happened here. We had people from the Canadian Border Services Agency in Kahnawake about a week ago, and that's exactly what they talked about. Some of the issues specific to Kahnawake, when you figure they ought to know by now that we are who we are, and how come they act like they've never heard of Native people before. So that's more of a local thing. I have a feeling they will address that at a certain point over there. Right now, though, the concentration is on the card.
Well, that's certainly positive movement, that's for sure. Okay, on to other fronts. The Supreme Court of Canada, Enbridge, and MCK. What's happening there?
Okay, well, in terms of Enbridge, the Line 9B hearings that went on about 3 years ago, they made a decision, the National Energy Board, to approve I think most people will recall that they asked for a reversal of the flow and also an increase in the amount of oil or fuel that goes through the pipeline 9B, which is the one that's in this area. Kahnawake made a presentation. They asked for a whole bunch of different modifications or improvements, and they did follow through with that. However, the consultation issues have never been fully answered, and the Chippewas of the Thames down near London, Ontario, they actually felt they weren't consulted at all or properly, and they're taking it to the Supreme Court about the process, the NEB process, that is. And so they asked Kahnawake for some assistance on this because they know we participated. They wanted to know what worked well, what didn't work. And Kahnawake applied for intervener status at this hearing that's going to happen on November 30th. And the chiefs over at the Chippewa of the Thames asked for us to go for a meeting with their chiefs to give them an update. So Chief Bobby Patton is there with Dennis Dybo, who's the technician on the file. And on today is Wednesday, so tomorrow the Ontario chiefs are meeting, and they will be discussing this case, the Supreme Court case. So Grand Chief will meet there with Bobby Patton and Dennis, and we should have a lot more information next time because the whole consultation process is very murky. Despite the feds saying that there is an obligation to consult, the definition of consultation and approval is still very vague.
Okay. What else is going on? Anything?
Just a little bit of good news. There was a Mohawk Council executive directive that was passed on Monday, and it was there's an application for funding for a multi-purpose building for the Cultural Center and the Turtle Island Theatre. So one of the big steps was passed this Monday when Council gave its full support. It now goes to the AIF, and hopefully within a month or so, we should have a word on whether that's been accepted. It looks like it's pretty much going to happen. And then we could look at the next steps towards having that finally, a new cultural center and theater.
Well, I'm sure those folks are excited about that. They've been working at this for quite a long time.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, Joe, thanks for dropping in as usual. Have a good one.
Right.
Take care.